3, 2, 1, and there we should be ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Before I say hello and before I introduce myself, I am, as always, gonna share all the links on social media. I apologize that I have to do it during the beginning of my show, but since nobody knows the link yet, nobody is really listening yet anyhow. So therefore, I take the opportunity to do that real quick and come on, there we go. We are live, posted there, and then not only on the lovely Facebook shall we share the link, we shall also share it on Instagram. And with that being said, and the first people tuning in, I shall say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Surrounded by Details podcast. My name is and always will be, most likely, Stevo, and I am your host during the show today. And as always, before we start, I would like to mention our supporter, Nanox Nutrition. If you want to get the best out of you, make sure to put the best inside of you, and order some nutritions on gateway.com and enter the voucher code SBDGW10 in order to get 10% off your order. Also, we are supported by Sanctuary Kombucha, which I'm looking forward to talk on Thursday. So our supporters actually gonna come on the show and we're gonna talk to them why exactly is kombucha becoming so popular. And you see, now the cliche becomes true once again. Guys cannot do two things at the same time. Share the link on Instagram as well. Paste. Done. There we go. And then we just do this and this and this and this and this and then. Long time actually I've been watching King of Queens, but who am I talking about King of Queens? I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about our upcoming guest, because today we gonna talk to Nick Supreda. I hope this is how you pronounce his last name. He is not only the owner of the newly started Blaq Lyte Nightclub in Thong Lo here in the wonderful city of Bangkok. He is also a very interesting character with a changing hair color, as I have seen on his social media. And you might ask yourself, Stevo, why are you doing an interview with a nightclub owner? Because that is not really your thing. And that is completely correct, because I'm not the guy that goes out a lot to nightclubs or goes out and drinks a lot. I am more the chill guy. But Nick is a little bit different. I recently found an article about him in the BK magazine. And I found out about him that he is sharing parts of his profits, quote, Nick, as much as I can, with a organization that helps orphans here in Bangkok. Now, he has a background as an orphan as well, but instead of me going into that, I am actually gonna talk to him and let him tell you guys all about it. I just have to finish my link sharing here, and then we are basically set and ready to rumble. And I hope we get everything done here in time, because if I look outside my window here in the wonderful city of Bangkok, there is a storm brewing over the city. But despite the fact that there's a lot of rain and a lot of lightning at the moment, I just love the fact that you can just go out in the morning here, where normally you don't have any lightnings or thunderstorms going on. Instead, you can just go out and go to the market, get yourself some fresh fruit, and just enjoy the vibe of the locals. So that is what I did this morning, and then I got myself, shortly before this podcast, a coconut. So as I said, just to kill some time here, that is the whole reason why I love Bangkok, or just one of the reasons. I mean, there is many more reasons why I love the city, but that is one of them. And then we share the link here on my Facebook page as well. And talking about my social media, if you like the podcast, if you like what we are doing, please go to our social media, Facebook, Instagram, or you can just go to my website, www.stevebonhage.com, where you can find all our links. And please give us a subscription, leave us a comment, let us know what you like and what you don't like, because that is the only way for us actually to improve. And one click left, which I just did. And with that being said, it is 6 o'clock. We're gonna call up Nick Supreda here and see what he has to say. He was recently in Spain, I believe. I would take a wild guess for a festival, because a few of my friends in Europe and also here from Asia have been there for several reasons, which included a music festival. Now we're gonna do this, and we're gonna find his number. I have to organize myself a little bit better, but hey, I'm doing all this by myself, so we shall not complain. So let's see, where do we have Nick? My numbers start to add up on my phone. Normally I'm a guy that doesn't have many phone numbers in my phone, and I don't say that to feel sorry for myself. I actually enjoy that, and I actually enjoyed the time where I didn't have a cell phone at all. Now, let me see. There we go. And give him a call. And it should be calling in a second. And it does call. We are on time. Okay, I just received a message by Nick here that at his side of the city it already started raining, and he is running back to his place at the moment. We shall give him a few more minutes. And how can I... well, wait a second. All right, we gotta kill around 10 minutes, but I think that is possible. So before we call up Nick here, who is running back to his room, let me tell you a little bit about Nick again. If you tuned in from the beginning, you already know that he is running a newly opened nightclub here in Bangkok called the Blaq Lyte. His organization, which he also funded and which he uses for the funding of the orphans here in Bangkok, is called 32 Foundation, and he also does run a art gallery called Future Factory. Where all these are located, we are about to find out. We're gonna have a few more minutes here. Nick is running hopefully in full speed back to his place, because at his end it started raining, and again, it is what it is sometimes in Bangkok, and sabai, that's all I can say. We're gonna relax a little bit, we're gonna wait a few more minutes, and I don't know. One of the questions that is on my mind, that is really burning, why does he change his hair color all the time? Now he is his hairstyle at the moment is pink, I believe. Before it was blue, and I always wonder. I'm not a hair person. I normally put on a hat, and I always wonder why people do that. Do they think it's pretty? Do they do it for several reasons? I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass here, because I surprisingly have to kill a few more minutes before Nick is back in action. Before I actually started to record the podcast today, I was watching a documentary on YouTube about Popeye, one of the main protectors and serial killers for Pablo Escobar. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Pablo Escobar, but it is quite an interesting story, and at the moment I'm deep shit into everything from yesterday I started watching another TV series, then House of Cards, Family Guy, South Park. Now I'm into documentaries. I have a little bit too much time at the moment, which is not what we normally like, because as many of you know, I'm a workaholic. If you haven't seen my work, please again go on my website www.stevebonhage.com, STEVBONHAGE, where you can find all my photography work and of course also our podcast episodes. And what I can tell you, by the way, just to kill a little bit more time here, we have a heavy schedule coming up this week and next week. There's several people that we are gonna speak to today. As I said, we're gonna talk to Nick. Then on Thursday we're gonna talk to Randy from Sanctuary Kombucha. We're gonna find out the benefits of this mystery drink, and what is it with kombucha at the moment? It seems to have a lot of hype going on all over the world, and I'm looking forward to actually see how Randy ended up producing kombucha and why he does it, why he believes in it. I had a phone call with him not too long ago, and it was already really interesting, and we drifted off a little bit. So I thought, why not get him on the podcast as well? Then next week we're gonna have a very, very interesting character, a former US military guy who is living here in Bangkok, and he deals with a different kind of training and exercise for your body. I'm sure you have seen loads of videos on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever video platform you are on, where people just lift themselves up with one arm and they're completely steady and completely straight. This is what this guy does, and again, as I'm so bad with names, let me just bring up the flyer here real quick. We also got confirmed today by another well-known Bangkok character. The owner and founder of Big Chili is gonna talk to us. We are gonna figure out the date first before I pass you on any further information. And whoa, what an experience here. That's the first time actually. And there we go. Nick is calling. Thank God. I was dying to cover this time by myself. Kaboom. Hello.
Hi, Steve-O?
Yes. Nick, how are you?
I'm great. I'm really sorry. Apologize. I was just running back to my room and it just started raining all of a sudden.
No problem at all. I was actually just saying when you called me up, I'm so happy that you called me, because this is the first time I had to cover a few minutes completely unprepared by myself, so I was talking loads of shit out of my ass.
Well, I'm sure you're doing fine.
Well, we let the audience decide. Nick, I hope
cool.
you are not too much out of breath. Where do you live in Bangkok?
I live near, in between Sukhumvit 39 and 31.
Ah, okay. And you, as I already mentioned on our introduction, are the founder and CEO of many things, Blaq Lyte Nightclub, 32 Foundation, and also the Future Factory Art Gallery. How old are you?
I'm 28 this year.
28. You're still young.
Yeah. And age is, maybe it's just a number. I don't know.
Well, that is nicely said. Say that again when you hit the 60s or 70s, maybe. Nick, my first question might be a ridiculous one, but again, I mentioned it just before you called me up. I have to ask you something really important here. First, what's up with you and your hair color? You change it all the time.
Well, it's it's a very normal question that I get. I mean, the reason why I change my hairstyle, I mean, just as of right now, 28, I still have some hair, so I'm gonna enjoy it while I can. Before I hit, like you said, before I hit my 60, I'm kind of, I believe that maybe in a way, attention is what I'm seeking, but also I want people to know that you never judge a book by its cover. In the sense where people at this generation, this age, they believe in wearing suit and blah blah blah. That you got to look good and and you got to look professional. And I'm not disagreeing, but my way of how I do things, and it's 2017. It's a fucking different generation. You don't got to be wearing like nice clothes. But when I go to meetings, I just go with blue hair. I do different weird hairstyle, or I'm gonna give myself a mohawk, and if we're gonna this is how I am, and it's you never judge a book by its cover. That's just how I see it. You don't just because I look like this doesn't mean I'm a douchebag or something. It's kind of
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm covered in tattoos, and my left arm, my lower sleeve is completely black. So there is nothing else, just black.
That's perfect. That's you. That's you, Steve-O. That's all you right there.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Rolling Stones. And Keith Richards once said, you can paint your canvas how you want to. A canvas is normally white, so what the fuck? I just turned it black. So I totally agree with you. But
perfectly said, yeah.
There seems to be this gap. Like you can do this until you're 30, 35, hit your 40s, and then between 40 40s and 55, you should look normal, and then when you look weird again when you get old, that's cool again. That's.
I don't know. I want to try to be weird as much as possible until I'm fucking old and look badass, you know?
Yeah, that's the reason why I found you, probably. I guess sometimes there is a reason why you found certain people. And what's actually the reason why I asked is because your hair color was actually the only reason why I kept reading the article I found about you in BK magazine. Myself, I'm not a big person of going out to clubs. I'm more like the chill guy, maybe have a beer here or there, but not really going for clubbing. But your hair color led me to read the first few sentences. And
well, I'm glad I made the right choice for you too, so that I grabbed your attention.
And I kept on reading, and you recently opened the Blaq Lyte nightclub, and it said that you donate parts of your profits to a orphan organization, which you also run to help orphans. But before we get there, I want to start at the base. As I explained to you on social media, this is not really an interview. This is a place where we can have a conversation and we can share your story. So let's start all the way at the beginning. You are actually born in the United States of America. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Where exactly?
California.
Oh, California. And how long have you been living there?
Well, I pretty much lived there my whole life. I moved here to Bangkok about almost 5 years now.
Oh, okay. And the reason why you donate profits of your parts of your profit to orphanage organization is because you were adopted yourself. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's more like not fully like I don't want to say like adopted to like a whole random family, but I was raised by my aunt. She's my mom's sister. There are actually 3 sisters, and they don't have kids, and one of them married to his name is Uncle Frank. I call him Uncle Frank. He's like my dad. He raised me. He pretty much showed me everything, and the guy is such a nice dude that, you know, he never like beat the shit out of me or anything. He always taught me, you know, the right things to do in life, and you know, and it's great. And what I realize is that if my parents never, you know, let my aunt take me in, I would probably, I don't know, I might be somewhere in the streets, you know, on a motorcycle doing some other cool shit, but I don't think I'll be here to be able to help people because I might see things differently from you know, growing up in the States and growing up in Thailand. It's, you get 2 different perspectives, and especially viewing people. You get what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of like a sense when I came back to Thailand, I realized that, oh wow, like I had everything. Like I fucking had everything. And it's Bangkok, I don't want to say Bangkok, but maybe in Thailand itself, we're a bit behind, and there are more people in need than there is in America.
I totally agree. Even though a lot of people make the mistake to underestimate how much pressure and how captured people are, how caught up because they have to pay their bills, they have to do their job.
Exactly.
While here in Thailand, you see a lot of people smiling, and I always say that when people ask me about Bangkok. I've been living here for a couple of years, and I love Bangkok because it allows everybody to survive. You know, even if you don't have a lot of money, you can still go on the street and sell your street food or play your music. While in Germany, for example, you have to have paperwork for everything you do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I agree.
Do you mind if I ask what exactly was the reason why your parents gave you away? Do you still have contact with them, or?
Oh yeah, I do. I am in contact with them. The reason why is my father and mother, they were living in America. They did the whole American dream. They opened a business. They started. It didn't work out so well. And my dad, somehow, he was just like, you know what? I'm going to go back to Thailand and, and just figure shit out over there. And so when he was going to leave, my brother, who my mom just had, was just born. And my aunt, her name is Paulina, was like, you know what? We'll take Nick, we'll raise him, and we'll, like our son. And they took me in. And every other summer they would send me to stay with my parents. My parents, they lived up northeast of Thailand in this province called Nong Khai. It's right in the border next to Laos.
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, so they would send me there, and I would be there during the summer. And oh man, I fucking hated it so bad. I fucking hated it. Growing up, in America with my PlayStation and skateboard and the beach, I'm in like farmland with like water buffaloes and all that stuff, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this place? Like, no. And then they put me to school. The worst thing is they put me to school during the summer on my supposedly supposed to be my vacation.
That's bullshit.
They put me to school, and the first thing that got me to hate this place even more was the teacher hit you. They freaking whipped the shit out of you, and it was like they enjoy doing it, and then this is that's another story of when I first came here to stay with my parents.
Now, looking back at this experience, would you say that you are actually thankful for that you had to experience both sides of the coin?
Oh, absolutely. It's been I'm a person that appreciates life. I appreciate every single moment, but at an age where you're younger, you don't realize it. And I think everybody has, that point in life where you're like, oh shit, this sucks. But then it hits you later and it makes you realize like, wow, like, wow, there's this part in the world. And, I see it as, if you are born, fully functional, you have arms, you have legs, you are, in a way, you're blessed. You can do whatever you want, and it's up to you to make that choice. It's not anybody else's choice. It's up to you. So when I got the chance, to come, as I grew older, I kept on coming back, and I got smarter. If I was going to school, summer school late, if I was going to be late, I'll go to school early so I don't get hit by the teacher. I learned all these little techniques coming to Thailand, and I eventually appreciate it. And then then eventually I decided to move out here after I finished school.
Now, might be a stupid question before I actually come to the question that I had on my mind first.
There is no stupid questions.
There's only stupid answer. Dude, I was running a hostel in Laos, so I changed my mind regarding this. There are some stupid questions out there. However, when was the first time you actually looked back at this experience and said, hey, maybe I was lucky to experience this? I mean, you said before when you're younger, you don't really appreciate it, and I totally agree because you don't know much about life. But when was that point for you where you said this was actually something that I should appreciate instead of hate?
Okay, it hit me my freshman year. Hit me my freshman year. I was how old? I think 12. No, not 12. 13. That's junior high. I would say 14 to 15 is when it hit me.
That's still pretty young.
But at that time I went to Thailand back and forth so many times, and at that time when my aunt and uncle, when they were raising me, they would change. We would move a lot, and for a young kid to move a lot, different cities, different schools, it's very hard to make friends. It's hard for a kid, and I at that time I moved school, and then I remembered there's like in schools there's clubs, there's like the chess club, there's like the chin jock club, all that bullshit.
The metal player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? That's too cool for me. They would never accept me. And I obviously not ASB. ASB is like for fucking cool kids. And then there's this group called PAL, P-A-L. It was PAL. And what I realized that they had different culture of kids. There was, Russian kids. There's like, Japanese people. It's like a different mix of all different race and ethnicity. And I was like, oh wow, this is cool. Maybe, I could be in this group. So, I was convinced about the stuff they're doing. So I joined this club. It's like a little program. It's like a class you take.
Yeah.
Like it's like an elective. So I joined this thing, and then what we would do is we would go to different special needs schools, and we would spend times with these special need kids. And seeing it, the first time I remember when I went, there was this girl. She couldn't really walk, but she is so young. I don't remember exactly how old she is. I'm assuming she's like 5 or 6. She's trying to walk, and when I first walked in, and let me go back before why she probably ran into running towards me. When I was for freshman year, I was like punk as fuck, man. I was like leather jacket, stud. I had half blonde, half black hair, whatever I could do to just fuck with people.
Yeah, you were the opposite from me. I was a hip hopper. I had my pants down to my knees.
Oh man, those are the times, man. Those FUBU pants.
Exactly, for us, by us.
Exactly. So she started running towards me, and I was just like, in a way, I was shocked. I was kind of like fuck, like it's like what's going on? And my teacher, and I still remember her names, and I'm actually still friends on Facebook. Her name is Jamie Jouch. She was the teacher that was teaching that class, and she was like, wow, like this girl, she likes you, Nick. Like, go play with her. And I was just, me having no fucking idea, and I was like, okay. And I started playing with this girl, and it just hit me, and it made me realize that this girl's never gonna have the life that I fucking had. She's never gonna have it. This lifetime, she's never. But her family is, the great thing is, like, her family was very supportive. Her family was so happy that I was playing with her, and she was in joy. And I realized that, you know what, dude? I don't fucking need anything in life. I just want to fucking make people happy. I just want to make these kids happy. That's it. Because kids are the future. They really are. If you teach them young, they are the people that make the decision when they're older. Because once we're dead, these kids are going to still be roaming around, and they're going to teach their kids, blah, blah, blah. So I realized that, you know what? I want to help people. I want to make this world a better place. Whatever I can do, anything I can give, I'm that guy. Like, I'll fucking do it. I'll give them whatever I can. I'll spend time, like, I'm like this guy, dude. Like, my friends would say, like, dude, like, you're like the slowest person. And let's say they'll meet me. It's like, hey, let's have dinner at 6. I'm like the last guy to show up. Literally, if I see, like, if I'm driving and if I see somebody begging on the street, or if I see somebody needs a lift, I'm going to give the person a lift, but I'm not going to tell my friends. They're going to be like, what the fuck, dude? We had to meet, But I'm going to do all these things because I realize, like, every little thing matters. The little detail in life matters.
Yeah, that's
maybe it's raining,
Yeah.
Maybe it's raining and some guy selling fruit on the side. He's going to need help, Why not? Why not give him a lift, Because I remember when I had a fucking flat tire at a young age in America, I didn't know how to change it. I sucked, dude. And this dude, this guy came out of nowhere and helped me. And at that time, growing up, I think I had was my first car, and I was sweating balls. It was like right in front of the high school girls, like laughing at me, and I'm just sweating. I'm just like, oh man, this is embarrassing. I'm not gonna get laid. So so this dude helped me.
Classic teenage thinking.
Yeah, and this dude fucking helped me, and it made me felt like, holy shit, like that's it. That's all you. It's so simple, but nobody fucking sees it. It's the simplest thing. It's a simple thing in life, and it's the little thing that really matters to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
Sorry, I have to make notes here because you say so many things where I would like to drop in, but I just let you go because it's nice to hear the passion behind it. But yeah, before we keep on getting into helping other people, with having said that you appreciate all of your moments because they actually helped you to become who you are today. Now, looking back at the teachers who were very rough, because I'm born in East Germany, and my parents, they never really hit me, but I grew up very rough, I had to help my parents, chopping the wood and all this kind of stuff at home. But it also showed me, it taught me the lesson exactly that this is exactly what I don't want to do to my future kids or to other people. So there is something good for you in experiencing that of your teachers maybe, and you should never underestimate how old school people think. They might not act or show it to you, but I think there's always a thought behind, because for me it's very hard to get it in my head that people hit other people or want to hurt other people just for joy. Of course there's always an exception to the rules, but there's always a thought behind in my opinion.
Correct. I agree.
Now coming back to you being late to meetings and meeting with friends. First of all, you would not survive long in Germany. I'm German. I'm always 15 minutes early to wherever I go.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And do you think that you can be too kind to other people? Because sometimes you have people who, as you said,
take advantage of you. And as you said before, you are in control of your own life. So I think there's a fine line between people who really need help, and there's a fine line of people who just don't
care or were too lazy and never made this mental step of actually realizing, okay, the only person that can change things is myself. So do you feel that you are too kind sometimes?
I actually love this question because I actually get this question from my friends a lot, and my close friends, they'll be asking me, and it's kind of like a yes no thing. I do think I'm too kind, but the thing is, Steve-O, I have been taken advantage. I have been lied to. I have been tricked. I have been scammed. But Steve-O, it's part of where I am today. Even if, I've had people who are even friends who I still call our friends, they've lied to me. They've, tricked me and all that bullshit. But hey, you know what? If you want to fucking do it to me, that's fine, dude. I'm not the kind of guy where I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to fucking take revenge on this guy. And I look at it as it's a learning experience for me. Let's say this dude lied to me once, and maybe I learned from it. Okay, I won't let him, and I'll remember, like, hey, man, you lied to me last time. Yeah, I'll laugh it off. I'm not going to take revenge or take a grudge on that person because, you get what I mean? I think for me, I think it's an experience, Steve-O. I don't look at it as it's bad. It's for me. I've been to Bangkok. I've been cheated. I've been lied to all the time, and it's normal. It's everywhere. It's not just in Thailand. So
it's everywhere.
I don't want people to think, it's everywhere. But you know what? Hey, dude, it's part of life. It is what it is. This shit's been going on before we were even born. This shit, tricksters, pranksters, scam artists. That shit's been around forever. Yeah. But it's just how as a person, how you handle it.
I think keep on going.
Yeah. I think it's okay. I don't take it the wrong way. I laugh it off, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm so stupid, dude. I'm like, this guy got me again. It's not a big deal. It's, what am I gonna do? I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna go kill his fucking family. No, you can't fucking do that. Just because the dude, like, stole 100 baht from you or lied to you, or I think it's like I said, that question is, for me, I like that question because I want people to realize that, hey, you know what? There are people that, they would make wrong choice, wrong decision, maybe because that person has a problem. Did you ever think about that? Maybe they lied to you. They wanted money from because they're having problems. We don't know why. Why not try to figure out what's wrong with them, or if you can help them at some way? Because obviously, if a person is normal, they're not going to be like, hey, let's go here or let's do this, and then they're lying to you or talking shit behind your back or just gossiping to you. But it's obviously that person needs help, dude. You can't, hate the guy or hate the girl because of it. That's how I see it, Steve-O.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. That is the reason why I ask, because I think we live in a society where we just pass, and that brings us back to your hair color. You see what a devil's circle. You should not judge everybody by its cover, and I think a lot of people try to correct other people instead of actually learning to live with them and to adjust. I mean, who says that you have the right to correct other people? Obviously, if they make a mistake, you can bring it to them. Some people will take it, and some people won't take it, but the people who don't take it don't have to be hated by you. I think you should just adjust and learn how. I'm a huge chess player. That's why I had to laugh a little bit when you said chess club before. I think you have to learn the game, and you have to think a little bit ahead, because you don't want to make enemies, and you have to live with other people on this planet. We are a bunch of human beings. So
people do. You're right. People make mistakes all the time. People do stupid things all the time, and I'm sure I've done a lot of stuff that I regret. But I'm like, I'm hoping my friend will not remember that. You get what I mean? It's just poor choice or bad decision, and I think that we should be able to forgive, and just because some people are they've taken advantage of you or done something, just talk to that person and whatever you can do to help, because at the end of the day, Steve-O, we're all gonna die. This is it,
That's the only thing in life we have to do.
Exactly. No need for hate. No need for hate. No need at all.
Now, if everybody would think like that, there would be a happy place. But unfortunately, it doesn't. And
it does not. Yeah, I understand.
Why do you think people are like this? People are very protective of themselves, and maybe also because they want to protect themselves and they don't want to look weak to other people. That's why they go in this maybe lie mode or aggressive mode. Why do you think not everybody thinks like you?
everybody's not the same, and that's the beauty of it, and that's what makes the world goes round. That's what makes our country great. What makes her it's different everywhere around the world. Not everybody thinks the same, and it's not wrong or not right. This is just this. Again, let me do say this, that everything that I say, this is all my opinion, and not everybody is going to agree with my opinion. And if anything, there are some people like, oh, dude, this kid is a fucking joke. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay for you to think that way, because that's who you are.
Yeah.
And there are those people everywhere, and, I think that's actually the beauty of it, because if everybody's the same, it might be fucking boring.
But you
know
have
what
to,
I mean?
but you have to be careful, because there's a fine line between being an ego and to have self-confidence. And I think a healthy self-confidence in the politics, I follow the politics all over the world from different countries, and there's one thing that is in common. This is political correctness. And I think people have become a little bit too much unicorn. You know what I mean? As a German, and especially with living in Berlin, where we are very rough in our way of talking, you should take the words of what I say for what the words mean, and not necessarily by my tone. I mean, if I'm angry, I will start screaming at you. That's when you know I'm angry. But a lot of people interpret too much into how other people mean things, which I think is not a healthy thing. So yeah, I totally agree. It's you should go out there. You should spread a little bit more love. And if you have the chance, always take a second to look at yourself and just to ask yourself, does it help me right now to lie, or does it help me to look mean, or should I just smile and don't care? Because as you say, there will always be people who like what you do, who you are, and there will always be people who don't like who you are. And that is what I call progress, because if you have everybody on the same time, on the same side, then nobody really will develop. There needs to be a healthy mix out of whatever you do. Let it be drinking, let it be drugs, let it be smiling, let it be being angry or sad. There needs to be a healthy mix, or don't you agree?
You're right. I absolutely agree.
Boom. Perfect. Nick, let me ask you a little bit here, because you said in the interview I was reading on BK Magazine that you started your whole idea about Blaq Lyte and with your organization because you want to help other people, and because you have been in this situation yourself. Now, how easy was it for you to get all this started? Because I also read in the article that you had some sort of problems there when you opened up. And can you tell us a little bit more what happened, and how did you get the idea about this nightclub combination with your 32 Foundation?
Sure, absolutely. Let me answer each question first. Let me do with the 32 Foundation. I wanted to do 32 Foundation, and I wanted to do it in the Nong Khai province up northeast, where my parents are originally from, because there's a couple orphanages that I like to go to, and there are even street kids that I like to hang out up there. It's because I believe that I want to start, for me, it's convenient for me because, my family lives out there, and there are kids that I kind of seen on the streets before, and I've kind of talked to, and I want to help them. I want to, I would love to help the world, but I can't, obviously. No one can do that.
You can't help everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to start off little and, do my little thing there. I want to help these kids. And the only thing for me to do business is for some fucking reason, I seem to be doing these parties and events, and it seems to be working for me, and so what my idea is, for me anyways, my main goal is I want to help people and, help kids over, the future. And how would I be able to do that? So, if I didn't tell people, I'd be doing it on my own and just kept on doing it secretly. Like, yeah, the profit that I make, I'm going to help. But I was like, you know what? Why don't I just let people know? And if people want to come and help, please do. Because the reason why I'm doing it myself, because I want to be there and help and be a part of these kids' lives. Kind of like when I mentioned reference to back again, where my freshman year when I joined that club, POW, it's because I was there. I was with those kids, helping those kids and playing with them, that little fucking moment, and I want to give these kids and let them know that, hey, just because you're an orphanage or you're kids from the street and your parents doesn't, give you the attention, doesn't mean you're not special, or you can't become, whatever you want, because these kids, they will never have the opportunity, Steve-O. They will never. And it's sad because their hopes and dreams are they want to, be joining some gang or whatever it is out here they can do, and, be rebels. And it's not wrong. I mean, I've even thought of it when I was young. I was like, yeah, dude, whatever I can do, be badass, but,
fuck the system.
but these kids, I want them to have choices, to let them know that, hey, you can become a badass, and, or become a badass, and that you can help people that in need like you. That's all they need. That's all they need to know, that, hey, they can make a difference. Come on, these kids, they don't know. They just, they go to school, they play soccer, football, that's all they do. And they don't think what they're going to be doing. They think, yeah, maybe I'll grow up, I'll, just be in the streets or sell stuff in the market or whatever. But we want to give these kids an opportunity and choices and let them know that, hey, there are things that you can do. There are, opportunities for you to go somewhere and do stuff. And that's my main goal. I want to do that. And that's why I started 32 Foundation, where I realized that, hey, I want to focus on this, on my personal thing. But I realized that, hey, if people want to know, cool, they can know. That's where that came out. Originally, I was just doing that on my own. Didn't really,
Yeah, I can hear the passion when you talk, and you are, I'm sure, some sort of artist through and through, because I had the same with my photography. I work as a photographer mainly, and I have loads of creative friends, and it's all the same. You all, and when I say you all, I include myself. So let's say we all talk with loads of passion, and we want to communicate something, either through music, in my case photography, or in your case by helping other people. But if you love music, you cannot just come home with a cassette. You need a cassette player, you know what I mean? You need to build a base.
Yeah.
So funny that I took a cassette as an example. I'm an 80s kid. So yeah,
kids like, what's cassette tape? What is that?
It's before CD. What the fuck is CDs? No, man. The only thing that seems to survive, by the way, is EPs. Now, cassettes don't really survive, CDs don't really survive, but EPs, man, they are out there, and I love them. However, we are drifting off. 32 Foundation and Blaq Lyte came after, or did you start with Future Factory after that?
Well, my main goal, it was. The idea was, so Blaq Lyte, what originally Blaq Lyte was is, this is, I'm going to go back to a story where all this whole shit started. I was sitting back in California with one of my buddies, actually my best friend. His name is Mark Baker. He actually lives out here in Bangkok now too, because of me.
Sweet last name.
Yeah, we were just sitting, and we were like, dude, Mark, because for me, when I was growing up, moving different towns and cities, and it's all for greatness, because my aunt wanted me to be in, and have a better education and a better city, and they moved around, and I thank them for that. And luckily I met Mark, and we love to go to concerts. We go to a lot of shows. We enjoy listening to music, and I meet friends and people around the world through music. So that's where we were just sitting, and I talked to him. I was like, Mark, I think I want to do a party, but I think I want to do it in Thailand. That's what I told him. I was like, I want to do it. I want to bring out some cool artists out here and take it to Thailand. But I was like, man, but we need a name. We need something cool. Yeah. And we were just sitting. We came out with a bunch of names, ridiculous names, stupid names. Then all of a sudden, the next day, I get this text message, and he goes, Nick, I fucking got it. And this is we were still using those Motorola phone. It wasn't even an iPhone or anything at that time.
Again, Motorola, what?
Do you guys know the Motorola Razr? But yeah, he texted me, he goes, Nick, I got it. And I was like, what is it? And I'm dying to find out. He goes, we're going to call it Blaq Lyte, and we're going to do parties and get bitches. It was just yeah. I was like, dude, that's so cool. And so I got to give the props name to my buddy Mark Baker there for thinking of the name. And then ever since then I came to Bangkok, and I actually didn't live here yet. I was still visiting. And I did when I came out here, I had Steve, I came here, I had no friends. I gotta make this clear. I never grew up here. I had zero friends, so I had to come here from scratch. I
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm sure, a lot of expats, a lot of people, but the great thing, the most beautiful thing in Thailand that's why I'm still here today, is that people are just so fucking nice.
Yes.
Like, that's it. I've met so many people where I'm just kind of like, holy shit, like, is this for reals? Like, really? Why are you nice to me? It makes me kind of like, huh, like, you know, I don't even think I'm that nice anymore. I think they're nicer. And people are just so beautiful, and I don't know what it is. They're just so nice. And I've met a lot of people since I've been here for the past 5 years, Steve. And people have given me chance and opportunity, and I am grateful for all these things. And I want to do the same thing with other people, because, you know, if I didn't, I came here with this kid, you know, I didn't just here with hopes and dreams, and never even thought that I'll still be here in Bangkok, Thailand. But the people, it's what made me stay here. It's because
it's the energy, man. It's the energy. Because if you have, I believe, people always say Bangkok or Thailand, the land of the smiles. I think also because of the culture, and this is what I like about Thailand so much. If you are a bad person, people will show it to you, or you will be told in some way or the other. You know what I mean? But if you're a truly nice person, you will receive a lot of energy, and you will receive a lot of good energy. And I totally agree with you. That is what I enjoy about Thailand. But let me come back here to the name Blaq Lyte. Did your buddy ever explain why exactly Blaq Lyte? Because it's spelled BLAQ and then LYTE.
So the great thing is, so Mark came up with a cool name. I was like, cool, awesome name. And this is where I get creative. This is where I want to get creative now, where I'm like, okay, dude, we can't. So we say a lot of dudes because we're from California.
I'm smiling. Okay, it's okay.
I was like, okay, dude. Okay, it's a great name, but we got to make it different. How are we going to be different? And at that time, and this is like many years ago, wanting to be different. And if it's now, for me, like right now, if I don't even think I would come up with the name Blaq Lyte. I don't know. But at that time, I was like, okay, we were listening to a lot of rock and roll, like 80s rock music. We weren't, we didn't even make it that time. But
Jesus.
And then there's this band. They never made it big. They were called Blaq, BLAQ. Okay. And I was just like, that's pretty cool. You know what? This band never made it big. Let's just fucking use it. And they spelled it so unique. So, and then there's just, I used that, and I spelled, BLAQ because it still spells black. And then, we're like, okay, how are we going to do light? And we're like thinking of logos. Are we going to use a light bulb? We're like, no. So I just, started asking Google how ways to spell light, and then light came up, LYTE, and it's spelled really weird, and we just came with it. We just went with it, no fucking idea, no mission, just trying to get fucking pussy was our mission.
Well, so and do you think that starts with actually spelling black differently and light differently? That could be a right attempt or not. Well, yeah, I think it's always creative when people come. It doesn't really matter how you came up with it. It's just that you put in the thought and the time to actually try to make it different than just simple black and light. Yeah. I think that is already enough props. Why did you guys end up in Tonglo? Because the most of the bitches are over there, or what happened? No offense to our female listeners. We all know that we're joking here.
No. That's how how Blaq Lyte started. And then I came to Bangkok and I started doing parties. I was bringing DJs from the States and just doing pop-up parties, different places, every here and there. Who's ever given me, chance and opportunity. I've met a lot of people who are like, hey, do it here. And I'm kind of like, I'm such a risk taker that I'm like, I'm going to fucking take it. All right. I'm going to do it at weird spots at different places. Originally, we opened Blaq Lyte at Sukhumvit 39, this little small, like little strip mall. It's like, and it's like middle of nowhere. No one would ever find it. It's like in a little soy. And, the space is like 20 square meter and it's so small, dude. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to start somewhere. I got to start somewhere. So we opened that, and eventually it was getting packed every day, and people were just hanging outside. And then I'm just kind of like, okay, this is not good. This is going to attract a lot of police, man. Like, and it's Thailand. I'm like, okay. And then we did that for a year. And then I had a friend who, when I first came to Thailand, he was very supportive of what I do. His name is Pipe. He goes by the DJ name Supersonic. He's very nice guy, sweet guy. And he's been supportive of everything that I do since I've been here. When I first came here, I was introduced to him. At the time, my girlfriend, she introduced me to him, and we've been friends ever since. And then he came to me and said, "Hey, I love what you're doing. How about there's a space for you here in Tonga? Would you be interested?" And
But Tonga
I
is
said, "Sure."
expensive.
It is, it is, and I not disagreeing at all. And but I was offered a great opportunity and a chance to do something that I really wanted to do at a bigger scale than I was doing. So, like I said, I'm a big risk taker. I'm gonna be like, and I was like, "Fuck yeah," So we did it. And thing for me is that I don't really advertise anything that I do. I do a lot through just our small channel of, social media and or through our friends. But somehow it escalated really quick. I don't know how. It escalated so quick, and we opened, and oh man, it was so many people. I was like, okay, this is a good night. This is a great night.
And this is a dangerous night.
Yeah, I was like, it's a good night. And then all of a sudden, all I heard from the DJ was like, "Yo, I heard the Popo are here. You know what? We're gonna say this to them. Fuck the Popo." And then I was like, "What?" The next thing I turned, there's like 50 of them raiding the place.
So how what happened after that? Because you had to close down the place. And,
yeah, Steve-O, we're actually still closed. We're exactly 1 month and 1 day. I'm keeping counts on that shit, man. And we're still closed. I don't know what exactly is, what they want. I've been talking to them every day. They were nice to me. They're not like rude. We're like, "Oh, dude, we're gonna fucking close you down." They were just like, "Hey, you know what? You're a new spot, by law." And I don't want to get into all this law shit, but they were just saying, we open after time, so we're gonna have to shut you down for a couple of days. And I was like, "All right, cool." It's been a couple of days, and I kept on calling. I was like, "Okay, dude, it's been a couple of days, man. What's happening?" And they're like, "Okay, next week." And they just kept on pushing next week. But eventually they told me this week that I'll find out. And I was like, "All right, man, well, let me know, because we got employees that I'm not going to let them, I'm still paying my employees. I'm not going to let them starve to death." So I said, "If you aren't going to let me open, please do let me know." Yeah. So I'm still fighting for it. I'm hoping we'll be able to open, and I'm just, trying to do something here for the youth culture, for the, new generation, for, coming out to having a good time as well. And that's what I want to do. So that's what's happening with Blaq Lyte at the moment. That's how it started.
Yeah, well, different countries, different cultures, and again, to hate doesn't really help you. You have to try to find out why and how, and you have to learn to cooperate and see what's happened with that, even if it doesn't agree with your opinions or your thoughts. It is what it is. But before we actually started here to talk about this podcast, you also mentioned that you have a art gallery. So while Blaq Lyte is closed, is that something that you focus on instead, Future Factory, or what is your plan for now?
No, actually, Future Factory was actually my how do I explain this? Man, there's like many stories behind all this thing. Blaq Lyte, I was doing it anyways. I was doing it, and art and music goes well together. I am a person that appreciates music, and I am a person that appreciates art. So music I realized
is what
that
feeling sounds like.
Exactly. So I realized that, hey, I want to do an art gallery as well. I want people to enjoy art before people forget about it. This is just my way of thinking. I'm the kind of person that, where when people, when they talk, they think, "Oh, dude, I want to do this, I want to do that." And this is just my recommendation to, or even if advice, I would say, maybe I shouldn't give advice, but this is just
well, we can all give advice. It's up to the people if they want to take it or not.
They're like, "Man, I took his advice and it did not go so well." And they're gonna
damn it.
Yeah. So I'm the kind of person, if I think of something, I'm going to think about it for about a week or two, and then I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to get up and just do it. I realize the thing is, people, if you don't do it, you're never going to find out. And this is also for me to learn. Like, for instance, I open Blaq Lyte, I get shut down. This is my experience. This is all my fault. This is all me. But again, it's the beauty of it. It's experience. So I decided, I've never done an art gallery. I love going to art gallery. I enjoy it, and I think it's when I go to art galleries, it makes me, in a way, feel relaxed, and somehow it makes me feel smarter. I have no idea why, but it makes me feel fucking smarter.
It's like playing chess.
You know,
That's the reason why I play chess.
Yeah, makes me feel smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to do it, and I told my friend Mark Baker. I was like, hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let's open an art gallery. Let's do this. But we also, in our art gallery, we also have a bar in it as well. We always have a bar at everything we do, because we do, you know,
we know that bars bring bitches, right? That is what we have learned.
Exactly.
So far.
Exactly. You know, so it's cool. I have a good team, and the whole thing. Also, I got to mention this as well. The whole thing for all this to happen is that, like I mentioned, I met a lot of great people here, and I have a really, really good team, and I love my team. You know, these guys, they work really hard. They're passionate of everything they do, and the people that I meet that are in my team that are helping me and you know, making Blaq Lyte happen, making Future Factory happen. Without these people, it wouldn't exist. So you know, I you know, my team is, you know, I love my team. They're great. And so when I came with this idea, and I've been talking to some friends and who are, you know, all on the team now, and they all believed in it. They said, hey, this is a great idea. Let's do it. You know, and again, none of us have experience in art gallery. None of, you know what I mean?
You guys are wild, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're like, oh, let's just do it. And again, since I've been here, I've got a lot of opportunities, and I've met a lot of people, and people, you know, I think I'm just, in a way, like, I'm a risk taker. So I'm gonna take, you know.
Yeah, if you don't walk through the door, you will never be able to find out. My parents had, I'm born in Germany, but I grew up in Sweden, and my parents had a camping spot there for a while, and we had a lot of Germans coming over there, and they always admired my parents, like, oh, how did you end up over here? My parents always told them one thing. We had 99 reasons not to do things, but we had one that we sticked with, and that we actually did it. And that's the people that get most out of life, that stick with that one reason out of 100 to do things. You know what I mean? It's I don't really know how to explain that, but I think society in general, it doesn't matter if it's here in Thailand, if it's in the States, if it's in Europe. I think safety is a very big illusion, and I don't know, human beings are just in the way they want to be safe, they want to be able to pay their bills, they want to be able to have food on their tables, and I think that puts you in a little in a little cell. You have to learn to think outside the box, and as cliche as it sounds, but life begins at the end of your comfort zone, and that's where you make the experience that you need in order to move on and to develop as a better person. So talking about developing and moving on, now with Blaq Lyte still being shut down, what's gonna happen then next? I mean, what happens if they say tomorrow, okay, you can open again, or what happens if they say, sorry, Nick, you have to stay closed? What's your next step?
Then we move. That's it's simple. I move forward. Yeah, I'm just being patient. They're you know, they're telling me to be patient. I'll be patient. So you know, but we're at the moment we're going to be doing pop-ups, different areas, find random places, parking lots, do pop-ups and stuff like that. That's you know, we just like to do these, you know, events at different places, and you know, and the thing is, I think for some reason in Thailand they look at, you know, partying as it's a bad thing, or going out is a bad thing.
Well,
but
I have to. That I have to drop in here, and I already know where you're gonna go, but I told you before, and I said it in the introduction. My audience is probably wondering why I talk to somebody who runs a nightclub, because I'm not a nightclub person. But for me, growing up in Sweden, for example, where people enjoy the weekend and can't wait for the weekend to get wasted, and my parents' side's family also have some history in drinking. I can totally see the point, because I see myself as one of them. I'm tired of seeing people constantly getting wasted. There's nothing wrong with having a beer or two and having a good time and listening to music and dance a little bit. But if you just look down, especially when we look at backpackers down on Phuket, full moon party, it's just getting too much. You know what I mean? And I think this is, I can see both sides. sides. I can see the people who
Yes.
party responsible, and I can also see the other side where a lot of people are tired of just people who just get loaded and wasted and become rude. And I can see both sides. Once again, you need the right mix. So I can understand already why people are very careful of that. But please continue. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Correct. No, it's all good. As people see it as, it's a bad thing. It is, like you said, it can look both ways. But how I see it as is, for me, we don't just open like a club where, oh, hey, come in, party, buy drinks, get fucked up. No, I like I said, I have a good team. Every time before we open, we meet up, we talk. Most of my bartenders, they speak English, they speak Thai, and I tell them, you'd make conversations with the people that come, buy the drinks or walk around. It's all about communicating with the people, and we want them to feel that come in here it's kind of like we are all friends. We come here for a good time. We don't want any fights. We don't want any of that to go to to what we're doing. We don't want any of that. We want people to kind of feel like, hey, this is a good place to come. I'm friends with, the bartender. I'm friends with people that work there. And it gives a small community where I'm trying to do for the, it's a different feeling for people to go in. Like, for instance, if I go out by myself, I to a club, which I don't know if I'm going to go by myself, but where if I go by myself,
we won't judge you. Don't worry.
We'll keep it between us. We go and all of a sudden, the bartender is talking to me, recommending me some stuff, what to do, or all of a sudden I'm standing and be like, oh, hey Nick, meet this guy, Joe is here. And that's what I want people to do is, in a way, it's like a networking place. You come in, you meet people, and I also always tell my bartenders that, hey, if a customer looks like they're really drunk or they're like full on shit face, tell them, hey, you're
sorry,
too drunk.
You look shit face.
Yeah, hey, you're done, man. We tell them, and if they need us to get them a taxi, an Uber, they need us to get them, a person to drive them home or whatever. We're more than happy to do that.
Yeah.
In a way, if I can build a place for people to come out, and yet we're also we show them that, hey, we do care, and we don't want you to get a checkpoint and get a DUI and go to jail for the night just because you came to our place. No, we don't want that. Yeah. And
that's
it's still, like I said, it's the little things, Steve-O. It's the little things that I want to do and provide, to help people, because for me at this age, I go out a lot, and I realize that, hey, if there's a place like this, why not? Like, I try to do things where I look at it for me as a consumer, and also a place where I can help people in the little things. So that's why I do this, and it comes to where I still understand why. Yeah, it's not wrong that people think going out is bad, but for me, I see it as, again, my opinion, I see it as coming out, having a good time, networking. Meet girls, whatever you want to see it.
Yeah, but again, that brings us back. I don't want to be judgmental. I just like to open up a conversation for both sides. But again, there's people like you and me. We realize, okay, when I have this amount of drinks, I should probably not drink anymore. For me, that's like 1 beer or 2 beers, because I drink so little that I can't really drink a lot. But then there's other people who just don't know better. Or, as you said before at the beginning of this conversation, you just don't know people's story. Maybe there's a guy, his girlfriend broke up and they've been together for 10 years, or somebody just lost their job. You never know. It's to be in the entertainment business and the nightlife business is very, very tricky and not as easy and fun sometimes as people think. Again, when we had when I was helping out in the hostel in Laos, we had a good connection with a lot of other hotels and hostels. We switched around people who worked, for example, in Vietnam, and then they wanted to come to Laos, and then I had to do a visa run. I went over there. It's a big responsibility. And also as a bartender, I really like that you brought that up, because I think as a bartender especially, you have a certain responsibility to keep an eye on the people and to make the judgment okay, they need no more drink, or I have to make this mix a little bit bigger so they get knocked out, because otherwise they could cause trouble to either the club or themselves. It is a team that is needed. Not only the security guard, you need people to have an eye on what's happening inside. So with that many projects going on, how do you make it happen to keep being busy on so many fronts? The art gallery, your foundation, Blaq Lyte, new ideas, old ideas, going up to Nong Khai. How do you organize yourself?
Back again, it's with my team. I got a lot, we meet up every week. We're always talking, even on our group chats, or we're always talking, and I like to keep myself productive and active. I can't, man. It's like rare that I'm gonna have time and sit down and just melt on my couch. It's, I realize at this age, for me, I got to be active, because maybe later I might have a back problem, or I get old for some fucking reason. So I'm gonna do the best I can right now. Like, again, back to, I can't satisfy everybody, but I'm gonna do the best that I can to make everybody happy, and do whatever I can.
Don't think like that, man. Don't try to make everybody happy. Try to do your thing, because if you try to make everybody happy, that's a dead-board child.
The best that I can. I'm just looking as the best that I can. I can't please everybody, but whatever I can do, I can give. I'm more than happy, because I see it as, like I said, I feel blessed that I was born with 2 legs, 2 arms, and I could do things for people, and that's it. I feel like I have a great family, have great friends. I'm appreciative with all these things, and there's nothing more that I want in this life, really, but to give, and that's really what I want to do, Steve-O. It's
also to give, and this is my honest opinion here in a great conversation with a guy who's very, very passionate about what he does. To give, you need to be able to, as you basically do, to have many balls in the air and to keep on going and to do everything with a plan. So again, a lot of people, they want to go out there and they just want to do stuff, but they forget, and I include myself. I was like that for a very long time. I just wanted to go out. I wanted to take photos. I wanted to bring messages from Laos, a nice picture of a poor family, or Myanmar, whatever it was, out to the world. But at the same time, you need to make sure that you are able to have this space and do what you do. And this is why I called you up, because I really liked the connection that you made there with helping our kids and other people by actually running a nightclub, which I would never make that connection of a nightclub owner is helping orphans. It's for me, it's just blew my mind. I really, really like the concept and the idea behind it.
It's a bit weird and it's bizarre. It is, but I feel like, the great thing is, I do this with my best friend Mark, and he has always been supportive of what I do, and he agrees. And and I realized that I'm not the only one is when I went to hang out with these kids, and I brought him to visit Nong Khai for the first place, and
what did he say?
He was like, wow, like, shit, man, we do have it all, like these kids probably never had mac and cheese, or they've probably never had an In-N-Out burger. I'm like, no, they don't fucking have In-N-Out burgers, and it's nice to have someone that you can relate to. We're like, oh wow, this person has the same feeling, so I'm not the only fucking crazy one here. So he's been supportive of what I do, and he was just kind of like, dude, if you think it's a good idea, man, I trust you, and I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna do this, man. We're gonna do this. We just have enough for us to, live by. We can do this, and why not just give? Like, what else? That's it.
I think a lot of people think like you and would like to do what you do, but as you mentioned before,
you just gotta do it.
Exactly. Yeah. You just gotta do it, and you gotta take the risk.
Do it.
Yeah.
Take the time a little bit. See whoever's around you needs help. Just go fucking do it. You don't need to fucking brag about it. Just do it.
Don't give them time. Don't give them time, because that is the problem with loads of people, in my opinion. Just take the example. Early morning, you need to go out of bed, your alarm is clicking off, you just hit the phone, the alarm goes off, and you think about it for 5 seconds, maybe less, and you fall back into that snooze. You know what I mean? If you have something in your head that you want to do, you don't need to go out and buy a $1 billion building in the next 2 minutes, but start with actually doing something. Put it to paper. To do notes is always helpful, in my opinion. Just start doing something immediately as you have the idea. Maybe put a note on your phone or Google something, read something, but just don't let it remain a thought, because if that happens for a couple of seconds, I think it slowly drifts off in the back of the mind, and your mind and your body is your biggest enemy. It takes over. It wants you to just stay lazy, stay safe. Make sure you got that food on your table next day. And in my opinion, as soon as you have an idea, just bring it to paper, do something, get out and do it. And with that being said, Nick, I really, again, can nothing than respect for you and your passion that you are having here. That is, I really enjoy to have conversations to people in general on the podcast, but I definitely enjoy to have a conversation with people that are so passionate about things that you are. Are you ever afraid that this passion will move on and that you will lose this desire of doing things because you tired yourself out, for example, a burnout or something like that?
Nah, probably not. I came to the conclusion that this is really what I want to do. It's really I don't feel like it's work at all, Steve-O. I feel like hey, I like doing this. This is what else, I enjoy it. It's not work, but it's fun. It's a bit stressed, but I realize that the people I meet, the team that keeps on growing, the more I get to know them, it's really, really, it's a good experience for me, and I feel like it's, like I said, it's not like hard work or I'm being pressured to do. It's a daily, normal day for me.
I always ask that my guests, we have been recording here for an hour, 10 minutes now, roughly, a little bit less for you because you came in a little bit later, but I don't want to drag it out too late, because as we read on the internet, it is not healthy to hold the phone close to your ear for too long. However, I always ask that to my guests, because we have everything from world champion athletes to creative artists to best-selling authors to people who do what they do because they love it. And as you say, it's not necessarily work, but there's a lot of stress that comes with it. And passion, again, brings also two sides of the coins. What do you do when you wake up on the morning and you had something happening, like the police raiding your Blaq Lyte nightclub? I mean, how do you motivate yourself? Do you smile in the mirror in the morning, or do you write yourself nice notes? I mean, people come up with the weirdest ideas. Do you have anything specific?
No, I mean, I don't know if it's weird or maybe it's me. I just wake up and then I just think to myself that it's a beautiful day. You're alive, and it's up to me if I want to do something, or if I want to sit down, stay home. If I just want to not do anything, it's everything. It's you are you. You can do what you want to do. So that's what I remind myself every day. It's just a refreshing reminder that, hey, you're still alive, no big deal, no need to stress, just get over it. Like it's not the end of the world is how I see it, where
but
it's simple. It's nothing crazy, but I just keep on telling myself that, hey, you're still alive, that's it.
The podcast is called Surrounded by Details. Often, as you said before, it's the details in life. I'm just came thinking out of this, out of own curiosity. Do you have the feeling that you have a certain responsibility now because you do this whole foundation thing and you want to help the orphans?
Absolutely.
How do you handle that? I mean, that must be huge pressure.
In a way, I want everything to go smooth. I even want Blaq Lyte, because I have teams, I have, people working there, and I have, but the team people that, some of my guys, my boys that have kids that, they have a family to raise, and I'm still supporting them. I'm not, I'm not going to be like, oh, hey guys, my business is bad, I'm just going to let you go. Boom. I'm like, no. Yeah. See ya. Good luck. No, I still support them. And it is a big responsibility, but I chose this, and I knew, what's going to happen. Like, not knew what's going to happen, but I knew, like, if this does happen, then I got to help them.
Yeah.
And that's how I think you build a good relationship with your team and your staff and employee, because if you show that you do care about them, not just because, they work for you or anything, they become, in a way, your family, and they somehow they learn from you, and they become a better person because they realize that, hey, this person does give a fuck about me. And if, and that's how I want, this is how this whole thing of me trying to help these kids, because I want them to know that, hey, maybe, someone doesn't believe in you, but hey, I want to give you a reason to live every day or to do something, because you can be a person, help people, you can do whatever you can, and if people can just, the thing is, Steve-O, everybody wants to be a hero. Nobody wants to be born like, yeah, dude, I want to be like the villain in Batman, or everybody wants to be the hero. But sometimes some people, they don't know how to do it, or they don't know how to express it. They forget the basic things. It's just being nice to people. It's so basic.
Just a
it's
smile
so easy.
sometimes, yeah.
That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a smile can lead to a lot of things, and and it's so simple.
This is why I love going out with my camera, even if I don't really go out with my camera necessarily to take pictures. But sometimes when I have a bad day or something is grinding my gear, I know myself. I'm very aware of myself. And again, I'm German. I have a long beard and I don't always look friendly. So sometimes I just take the camera in order to hide my face behind. And people just get happy sometimes to get attention of there's somebody who wants to take my picture. Somebody I have to run. Somebody I get invited for food. That's obviously different from person to person, but I think there's something for everybody that they can do. Let it be a simple smile, let it be to buy a bottle of water for the guy who's sitting on the corner, or whatever, or give this guy a ride, what you mentioned before. There's so many things you can do, and again, I think, and I'm very convinced of that, a lot of people, I mean, you always see beggars on the street, a lot of people just pass by, but I'm very convinced that there is at least 2-3 seconds of thought in each person that passes by, which brings me back to act immediately. Don't just pass on and let it drift by. Help, because there is a certain thing, and that certain thing is called karma. It will come back to you one way or the other. So when you do something good for somebody else, it makes you feel good as well. People are surprised how much you actually get out of helping other people. Not necessarily by other people giving you applause or saying, hey, that was great, you're my hero, just of the feeling itself, Not happiness is not material. And I think a lot of people forget that it starts with a feeling, it starts with a smile, it starts with somebody as passionate about things like you, Nick. So with that being said, we have been recording here for a little bit more than an hour. I could talk to you for hours. We haven't even touched the subject of music. I'm a big music fan, so maybe we can grab that up next time. We have to bring you back for sure. I really enjoyed to talk to you. But before we cut all this episode to an end here now, I have to ask you, where can we help you? Where can we find you on social media? How can people get in touch with you?
It's actually really easy nowadays. You could look for Blaq Lyte. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, Blaq Lyte, or you can even go to Future Factory Bangkok. We have Instagram, Facebook, and the page itself. I'm trying to develop a 32 Foundation. Anything that I'm involved, I could let people know right away that my passion is, everything that I do is to help kids and build, this little community and a better future for these kids, and that's all. And if they want to know or get involved personally, which I would love, and just they could message me or message the page. I monitor it, and I have a couple admins that I'm sure that all my team, everybody is more than happy to help, and just since we did that BK Magazine interview, I got a couple messages already that people wanting to come help, and it's just wow, it's so amazing that there's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of people, and they want to help, and I'm very happy to see that, and so it's very easy, and I'm sure that you could probably throw in a couple links on your site or on your page and stuff, and it would be easy for people.
Of course. You have to send me some of your links. I could find some. I will also add the link to the article in BK Magazine. We're going to put everything in the description below here on YouTube. So if you are listening later on iTunes or Podbean, where you can download all our audio episodes for free, please make sure to switch over to YouTube and to look up the the description below, and you can find all the links for Nick. And as you said, you're trying to develop the page and everything, and of course, who would I be if I don't get emotionally attached to what you just told us about your journey, about your idea? I would of course like to support. So what I do
Appreciate
best is taking pictures. You can go on my website, or we have to meet up because I have to meet you in person, and
that'd be great.
get you some nice flicks for your organization, from your team, for your nightclub, for your art gallery, whatever you need. We will figure it out, and we get this whole bitch on the road, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, Nick, thank you so much for making the time for us to come on the podcast.
Steve. Appreciate
I really
it.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And I hope that people will step it up and get in touch with you in order to support and to help. And once I finish this podcast here, please send me again all your social media links so I can put it on. And we
Absolutely.
have to figure out when we can meet up, have a beer, and talk about the pictures.
Sounds great, Steve. Well, thanks again. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you so much, Nick. It was an honor.
All right, ciao.
Bye-bye. Boom, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Supreda, there he goes. What a passionate guy. Sometimes you just know when you see somebody on the World Wide Web. I have to turn down the phone volume here. Sometimes you just know you need to get in touch with that person because there's something going on in his head that you can relate to, that you agree with. You kind of have the same opinions about stuff. And again, this is a guy that does what he does with a lot of passion. And I would really like for my audience to once again go down below on YouTube, go down below on the description, click on the links, find out more and support, because sometimes it can be a like, it can be a share. As more people know about this, as more people have the possibility to help. And with that being said, we slowly have to bring this podcast to an end. Thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, as always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Surrounded by Details Podcast, or you can find us on iTunes or Podbean or Stitcher or SoundCloud. We are everywhere. Just look for Surrounded by Details Podcast. Also on Facebook, it is Surrounded by Details Podcast or Steve Bonhage Photography. We have Instagram as well, steve.bonhage. Steve, as always, without a E at the end. That is because my parents can't speak English. And with all that being said, we have amazing guests coming up, more creative people. But for now, I have to look through my archive what kind of pictures I can help Nick with. And I hope you do the same, figure something out, because there's always something you can do. I hope you have a lovely Tuesday evening. That's it for me. You listen to the Surrounded by Details podcast. My name is Steve-O, and have a beautiful evening.